Recompense injury with justice, and recompense kindness with kindness. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. Everything has its beauty, but not everyone sees it. Don't complain about the snow on your neighbor's roof when your own doorstep is unclean. If you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in raising every time we fall. They must often change, who would be constant in happiness or wisdom. If you enjoy what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. Music produces a kind of pleasure which human nature cannot do without. Forget injuries, never forget kindnesses. Faced with what is right, to leave it undone shows a lack of courage. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Those who know the truth are not equal to those who love it. He who believes he can and he who believes he can't are both usually right. To be able to practice 5 things everywhere under heaven constitutes perfect virtue: gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. Only the wisest and stupidest of men never change. Heaven means to be one with God. By nature, men are nearly alike. By practice, they get to be wide apart. They must often change who would be constant in happiness or wisdom. What the superior man seeks is in himself, what the small man seeks is in others. You can force the people to obey, you cannot force them to understand. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. It does not matter how slowly you go so long as you do not stop. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his actions. If you expect great things of yourself and demand little of others, you'll keep resentment far away. The noble-minded are calm and steady. Little people are forever fussing and fretting. Fine words and an insinuating appearance are seldom associated with true virtue. Learn as if you were not reaching your goal and as though you were scared of missing it. When anger rises, think of the consequences. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. Knowledge is merely brilliance in organization of ideas and not wisdom. The truly wise person goes beyond knowledge. A superior man in dealing with the world is not for anything or against anything. He follows righteousness as the standard. He who searches for evil must first look at his own reflection. Not to discuss with a man worthy of conversation is to waste the man. To discuss with a man not worthy of conversation is to waste words. The wise waste neither men nor words. Writing cannot express all words, words cannot encompass all ideas. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute, the man who does not ask is a fool for life. Success depends upon previous preparation, and without such preparation, there is sure to be failure. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. The scholar who cherishes the love of comfort is not fit to be deemed a scholar. Settle one difficulty, and you keep 100 away. Don't worry if you have no position, worry about making yourself worthy of one. Poor food and water for dinner, a bent arm for a pillow, that is where joy resides. For me, wealth and renown without honor are nothing but drifting clouds. Looking at small advantages prevents great affairs from being accomplished. How can you love people without encouraging them? And how can you be loyal to people without educating them? All people are the same, only their habits differ. When respect is shown according to what is proper, one keeps far from shame and disgrace. Learn avidly. Question it repeatedly. Analyze it carefully. Then put what you have learned into practice intelligently. We have two lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. It is not the failure of others to appreciate your abilities that should trouble you, but rather your failure to appreciate theirs. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. One joy dispels 100 cares. Even 4 harnessed horses cannot bring imprudent words back into the mouth. When you know a thing, to hold that you know it, and when you do not know a thing, to allow that you do not know it. Walking among 3 people, I find my teacher among them. I choose that which is good in them and follow it, and that which is bad and change it.